You want diversity, you want inclusion, you want representation, equity and all that. This story was told in Mexico by someone of Mexican descent about a Mexican wrestler. Boom, right in your face. So the other day I'm scrolling through Instagram and this reel catches my eye. It's comedian Jay Washington. You should go check him out, Jay Washington. And he's making fun of these nerdy white people. They're on stage at some corporate event. They're rapping, "They not like us. They not like us. Woo, they not like us." And it's like, it's literally as awful as that. It's mind-numbing. It makes you want to peel your ears off and throw them in the trash. And that is how I feel when Disney attempts diversity and representation. I'm not the only one. I know for a fact that other people feel the same, including big-time artist David Cho, one of my favorite artists, who has enough of an establishment on his own that he can put the thumb in the eye of Disney and not have to worry about like doing business with them in the future. I myself, I have no plans to do business with Disney. I feel equally as comfortable. And I do agree that it is a good thing that Disney is giving opportunities to more women and people of color, and they're championing diversity. I just don't feel that they are in the position to do it authentically and well executed. And those are two words that we need to put into the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion fad is kind of what it is. It doesn't feel sincere when it comes from a company like Disney, and it almost feels as if that fad is coming to an end because it wasn't well received by the nerdy fan base that they're trying to appeal to, who just wanted nerdy stories to tell, timeless stories, and not on the nose, this is what's happening today story. That's where KALACA comes in. There was no DEI spokesperson or consultant who told me, "Hey, Diesel Time, you need to take your male character down a peg and lift up these Venganza characters." It was my idea from the beginning to have this guy who's just a shirtless muscle man, doesn't even know how to really fight. He only knows how to play fight in a ring and entertain the crowd, get them to boo and cheer, all that. And it's these fiery women who actually take on the cartel with their guns and their machetes, and they are badass, not to be messed with whatsoever. And the inspiration from these characters was not diversity for diversity's sake. It was my experience in college doing student outreach and student organizing with these beautiful women who were not to be trifled with, being on the front lines, fighting for immigrant rights, on campus, off campus, really making a difference in our little small world. And that's something that I wanted to put into my comic book, not to, do it for them, but to do it for everyone. I thought this is something that people gotta see. This is something that I think is cool. And then you got KALACA, who is the face of the brand, he's the central character, but it's not the typical male superhero that you come to expect. This is a guy who has no idea what he's doing. This is not his world. He is a wrestler, not a crime fighter. But having been kicked out of the wrestling organization and with the cartels using the arena to launder their money, there is no way that he will ever get back in the ring. So the only way for him to get back to his passion and what he wants to do is to follow these women and back their play and help them fight against the cartels so that he can do what he needs to do. He serves their story just as much as they serve him. KALACA is not about tearing down women in order to build up men or tearing down men in order to build up women. It is about coming together and fighting for what's right and doing what needs to be done despite all odds. And for me, that's when it becomes a little bit more personal. I got a broken hand right now and I'm still doing pages. I don't know any other way to live. There is no option. Quitting is not even considered. KALACA is the same exact way. when he is kicked out of the Federation and it seems impossible that he will ever wrestle again, he never thinks, oh man, my life as a wrestler is over. It's only single focused of how do I get back? I don't know, the first thing about crime fighting, but I'm just gonna knuckle down and do it. And that's how I feel when it comes to the comics. Like, no one's forcing me to do this and no one can stop me. If this project, this Kickstarter, gets to the 98% mark, I'll put in the last bit of the money. If it only stays at 28% where it is now, I will put in the rest of the money. Failure is not an option. This is the only way I know how to live as a comic book artist, making my independent art, not having to answer to people at Disney with their shareholders and their corporate lawyers, this and that. You gotta take KALACA and make him a girl now. Oh, he's gonna be black or white or Asian in the next issue. Like, no, none of that is ever gonna happen. This is my story. I'm telling it my way, and I'm telling it as best I can. You want diversity, representation, equity, inclusion, all that buzzword stuff? This is it. KALACA is the real deal. It is not the dumbed down Disney version. This story was originally crafted in Mexico by an artist of Mexican descent about a Mexican wrestler. I mean, that's iconography for you. This is world building and storytelling. This is realism in comic book panel form, coming at you with all the badassity I can inject into it. There's no family-friendly buffers that Disney is imposing on me. I'm my own thing. I'm my own artist, my own publisher. I own all my own rights to this stuff. And I hope you come along for the ride and enjoy it as much as I do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been your boy, Diesel Tom. I truly hope you support the Kickstarter and make this thing come back to life after death.